Halloween night, 1950. Dozens of children in cities across the United States were sick.
Joe, what was Art the Clown?
There was something in the candy.
Okay, no one died, but this was obviously a problem. The issue was an FDA-approved ingredient called Orange 1, a color additive that was in all types of food at the time, from Halloween candy to hot dogs. The large amounts of it in candy...
What do we put coloring in the hot dogs for? Dude, America's crazy. I don't get it, man. Why do you need color in the hot dogs?
Candy gave it a festive orange hue, but also made it super toxic, giving kids rashes and severe diarrhea.
Oh.
Luckily, you will not find Orange 1 in our food anymore. After this Halloween incident, the FDA banned it along with several other color additives. But in recent years, another
red number 32. There's 32 different red colors? Holy shit. I already thought 3 was too much, but why so many?
It is making headlines. It's in candy and nearly 3,000 other foods we eat.
Oh my god, bro, it is.
It's been linked to cancer in rats
Ooh.
and behavioral issues in kids.
Oh yeah, that shit can give you ADHD. If you eat a lot of that stuff, you can get ADHD. Bro, you get spawn camped in America. By everything, even the sweets. Everything is out to kill you.
Why is it still in our food?
On Red 40?
Red 3 is just one of 9 synthetic dyes
Oh, yeah.
approved
Oh,
for
there it is. Red 40. It actually is a what the? Oh my god.
use in the US by the Food and Drug Administration. We've been using dyes like Red 3 as far back as 1907, before the FDA even existed. But this list has largely remained unchanged since the late 60s.
Dude.
Today, Orange B and Citrus Red 2 are only approved for limited use, but the other 7 are approved for widespread use in food, drugs, and cosmetics.
Hell yeah.
Well, except Red 3.
The question I wrote here was, what's the deal with Red 3? That's very helpful.
Reminds me
I'm happy to talk about
of like the Star Wars scene with all the
Thomas
rebels,
Galligan is the principal scientist
Red
for food
Squadron or
additives
what
and
it's called.
supplements at the Center for Science in the Public Interest, a consumer advocacy
Red Free,
group focused
Red
on
Wing,
improving the
Big
food
Red.
system in the U.S.
Red 3 is of the synthetic food dyes is a bit of a unique case.
Because even though Red 3 is in a ton of our food, it's banned from use in topical drugs and cosmetics. Here's why.
Uh-oh.
After the 1950s Halloween fiasco, the US passed new legislation, the Food Additives Amendment of 1958, and
Guys, it's been 8 years. We have to stop poisoning our children. Oh my god, what do you mean? My prophets had rats. Fuck them kids. They just weak. Imagine, man, you poison the children and be like, yes, this is a good product.
the Color Additives Amendment of 1960.
What that amendment did was require FDA to assess the safety of any color additive before it is used in any FDA-regulated product, including food. So all the color additives that were used prior to that had to be...
And I couldn't remember that name if I tried. That is such a big name.
formally approved again.
So by 1969, Red 3 and several other additives were permanently approved for use in food based on the research that was available at the time. But then, 2 decades later,
the cosmetics industry petitioned the FDA.
The research at the time. I love America for that because they are so crazy about that stuff. You know what? Remember the snake videos? Like, oh, we have all this historic documents and everything, make a show based on that. And then there's one dude, nah, they lying. They lying. My papa, he's 106-year-old. Nah, he said they lying. Okay, cool. That topic's over. Research. Knowledge of the time? Nah. My papa said they different.
To permanently approve Red 3 for use in cosmetics and topical drugs.
At this point, the latest research found that when fed to rats, Red 3 slightly increased their risk of developing thyroid cancer. So in 1990, the FDA
they gave the rats cancer for this. This is insane.
Petition for cosmetics and topical drugs, and said that they would go back and ban it in food for the same reason. In fact, they were
no more advertising to kill. Oh, that sounds interesting. We can watch that after.
required to. Within that Food Additives Amendment of 1958 is a provision called the Delaney Clause, which says the FDA is required to ban food additives which are found to cause or induce cancer in humans or animals as indicated by testing.
Yeah, stop giving rats cancer.
So on the basis of that evidence and on FDA's own conclusion, the agency was obligated to ban it across all of its products that it regulates, including drugs, cosmetics, and foods. Then what happened was 34 years have elapsed and Red 3 is still on the market and FDA hasn't acted.
They just never got around to it. I did reach out to the FDA for comment and they didn't have time for an interview, but their press officer did direct me to their website. Today on the FDA's website, you'll find a statement saying that the research on thyroid cancer in rats has limited relevance to humans.
Deflecting the claims. They are not saying that it's not cancerous, it's only, it's limited relevancy. That's a nice wordplay they use there. They don't deny the claim, they just say, it's a rat. How can you, compare a rat to a human? Yo, fool. Thank you for the sub. Thank you. 21 months. What the fuck? You can now drink in America, fool. Congratulations. You're truly an adult. Nice. You can drink all the red number 3 now. Also, on a side note, I watched Alien Romulus, and there's a scene where a rat just gets crushed by a hydraulic press. Man, I feel like months. Yeah, but we consider these months like years, don't we? Every time when it's like 18 months, it's like, yeah, I'm an adult now. You can't change the dynamic now. Come on, man.
I don't entirely understand.
But didn't die. Oh yeah, but it didn't die. But it's still. I watched that clip. Was like, man, why you do the rat like that? And afterwards, it was better for the rat. And now these rats get cancer, dude. You know what? The big plague in Europe, right? That was caused by all the rodents and everything, like rats and bad hygiene. Maybe that was a try to, maybe they tried to start a revolution. Maybe they were fed up with all this human bullshit. I can't blame them. Can't blame them.
Understand why FDA has dug its heels in on this particular issue when it's incredibly clear that Red 3 is in violation of the Delaney Clause.
CSPI, the organization Dr. Galligan works for, filed a petition with the FDA asking them to formally remove Red 3 from our food. It's been 2 years now and it's still being reviewed. And in the meantime, here it is, still in.
Dude, these things, what are they called? Candy corn, right? I've never had them. They look so weird. And are they like jelly beans or are they like jelly beans or some stuff? I see them in like movies all the time. Like all the Halloween movies, they always have that shit. Is it good? I bet it probably just tastes like sugar. It's hard? So it's like hard candy. But it looks like something you could chew. It's like eating a sweet candle. Ugh. That doesn't sound too good. Oh, I remember these rings. These diamond rings. They also only taste like sugar. Yo, pass! You hear these? I like these. With the little machineries you get, like the plastic things, like, and then you can get one out of the mouth of the thing. Epic. Tastes like sugar and nothing else, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I by now have adult taste buds. I like bitter stuff like coffee and beer and all that shit.
In our food.
So sweets, I don't know, man. Sweets are just too much.
But there is another.
Sometimes I have like one cookie or something. And that's enough for like a few days or a week and be like, yeah, that's good enough.
Another way the US might.
Don't lie to me. Non-alcoholic beer, yes. And earlier, before I stopped drinking alcohol, normal beer, yes, beer's amazing. Cerveza Cristal, We don't have cerveza cristal. Got real beer. Not whatever you guys over there in other countries have. That's all fake stuff. It's fake beer.
might get rid of Red 3 without the FDA. In
Oh,
2023,
they're going
California
rogue.
signed a bill banning Red 3 from food in their state by 2027. The bill is partially in response to the fact that Red 3 might cause more problems than just the rat cancer risk, specifically problems in kids. A recent compilation of 25 studies showed that over half the research found a correlation linking synthetic dyes to behavioral issues in children.
The studies that
Dude, they
FDA
poisoned the rats,
based
the
its original
kids,
approvals on for these
fucking
synthetic
everything.
colors were not designed for or able to detect neurobehavioral problems in children. And so FDA's approvals and the science on which those approvals are based are
But also, how do you link that together? That's crazy. That's like, how's that happening? How do you find the connection of a kid being completely hyper and a food dye? Did they also test that on rats? What? Let's see. How many rats get ADHD and how many get cancer? Count them.
outdated.
This isn't as clear-cut as a bunch of kids getting sick on Halloween, but it does raise concerns for parents and ultimately state lawmakers.
So aside from California, a handful of other states.
I mean, yeah, the getting sick on Halloween, that makes sense. You know, you have a bunch of kids that get sick. You ask them what candy did they get. The parents look like for all the candy they got, and then there's probably one that is, you know, more like very common between all of them. Like, oh, okay. So these kids had that. I can see how you can figure that out. But that other stuff, no fucking clue.
States have also introduced bills that would ban certain food additives or take other action to sort of right the wrongs in FDA's regulatory system. This flurry of state
Oh
action
wow, California was the
that
first
we have
one.
seen in recent years is brought about because of frustration with FDA's inaction.
Many of these dyes, including Red 3, are already banned or require warning labels in other countries, including all of the European Union. In the US, California being the first state to ban Red 3 is a really big deal because this state is listed as the world's 5th largest economy.
The industry already has the alternatives. They already know what to do. They're simply choosing to sell safer food in Europe and less safe food here.
Rather than remove their products entirely, we'll likely see them adjust in the US as well. We're actually already seeing it.
The ban in California will
It suck. Yeah, we just watched that.
Usher in a national ban on Red 3.
I'm not really interested in the Switch
This has
2.
happened before. In the 1990s, research emerged linking artificial trans fats to heart disease and strokes.
While FDA was going through the process of evaluating the
Strokes on
evidence
top of that.
on this
Bingo.
taking too long, California stepped up and banned it in the interim.
This ultimately led to a
Rare
change in the industry.
California
Food manufacturers
W.
started removing artificial trans fats from their food as early as 2009, long before the FDA issued a nationwide ban.
Dude, it takes. I like these companies and how, you know, bureaucracy works by now. It takes that you find studies and everything, and it takes decades to fix things. There's this stuff, and it causes children to shit themselves, get cancer, and ADHD. And then you have some fucking dipshit, some fucking asshole who probably would be shot by Luigi by now, who's like, nah, no proof, fake news, it's fake news. You know, there should be a priority. The priority should be, you know, lives, especially children's lives. Money should come after that at some point. Not before that.
This conversation has drawn attention to some major flaws
But children don't make the money. It all makes sense now. Parents make the money, so fuck them kids.
in the way we regulate food in the United States.
Current system allows unsafe food chemicals to remain in our food system long after we know that they are unsafe.
California is already taking steps to ban other synthetic dyes, starting in school lunches.
I think it's really important to remember in this whole conversation that these food dyes are not necessary. right?
will look at
They
Discord.
exist purely as a marketing tool for
Jelly
the food
beans.
industry. They
Don't eat the
change-
red ones. They would cause cancer. Only like the blue, yellow, and green stuff. The orange is probably also already cancer, and the red one is cancer. So you know, eat around that. That's cancer in the wrapper.
the way food
Not good, man.
tastes.
Not good.
They don't change the nutrition. They don't preserve the food. They offer no benefit beyond the aesthetics of the food, how it looks. And that is not a good reason to put kids at risk.
On Halloween or any other day. Hey, thanks for watching. And if you have really strong feelings about candy corn, feel free to rant about it in the comments.
Yep. Hate it. Hate it. But now we will check the newest thing. From which news is better? We'll take this. This is more pleasing to my eye.
Tonight, the major move from the FDA banning red dye number 3 from food years after it was banned from cosmetics and topical drugs. Here's Ariel Reshef.
It's the artificial food dye giving hundreds of products their bright red color, from candy and cakes to drinks and medication. But tonight, the FDA is moving to ban.
What do you mean medication? Why does medication need to be colored? Shit tastes like ass anyways. Who gives a fuck how it looks? Man, you guys over there are crazy.
Red dye 3 because of a potential
Grain
cancer
tastes
risk
the
after a
best.
petition from food safety advocates.
Decades after FDA admitted that this chemical is indeed a carcinogen in animals, it has taken the product off the market.
Red dye 3 was banned from cosmetics and topical drugs in 1990. Today, the FDA saying that
How does that make sense of it, man? Make sense of it. So you have this thing. It get banned from cosmetics, which you only apply on your skin or like your nails and your lips. You don't ingest it unless Fu eats the crayons. I guess so. That is ingesting, or you eat lipstick, I guess. But you can still eat that shit. It doesn't. My head hurts.
dye has not been linked to cancer in humans, only in rats. But the FDA noting it's required by law to remove any additive found to cause cancer in people or animals.
These products have been banned in Europe for many, many years, so
Yep.
I wonder why the FDA approved them in the first place.
Tonight, some in the food color industry pushing back on the ban, pointing to the FDA's own acknowledgement that red dye 3 isn't believed to pose the same cancer risk to humans. David, food companies have until January 2027 to remove.
I don't know, man. Do I trust the American healthcare system or the health system or the European one? You know, you have to ask yourself a question. What benefit does the EU have banning that? You know, if it's a cheap thing, they would lose money. So what could be the reason that they will actively want to lose money? Couldn't be the health concern, right? So fucking weird.
Move the dye from their products. Drug companies have a year after that. David?
All right, Ariel, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we got it. America just gives its citizens poison.